Oh my, here's a very old toy, 1978 probably. Well, it goes back to my childhood, the 40s and 50s, and probably back to Victorian times. It's the old rack and pinion. There's a little gear tooth thing on a straight line, hitting a tiny little gear wheel which rotates round and makes the thing spin. So when I do an action like this with my fingers and thumbs, see what happens. It sparkles. I remember the magic of that when I first saw one of these. Underneath it, the thing actually thinks. Little white sparks, and then they're being coloured by the tiny little bits of gel there. All red. Very, very sweet little idea like that. And there have been several variations of it. This one here, for instance, I got about the same time. I couldn't take the label off on the front, so if you look carefully, it says Hamleys, that's a big toy shop in London, 60 pence. Well, that's what it cost, but this is 1979, 40 years ago. If I get this thing like that, the clown, same kind of mechanism. Well, I'll show you the mechanism in the next one, but quite sweet, isn't it? You've got blue eyes and a red mouth, and he sparkles away when you push and pull. So the next one I've taken to pieces to show how it works inside, but I'll show it first of all when it's working. It's a skull, so it's a Halloween. But how is it working? Well, I merely undid the screws and then put elastic bands around it, which I'll take off now. And I love looking at the mechanisms inside. So it's got a front piece here which has got all the skull's details, but here's the mechanism. Look at this. It's got a little straight line rack here and the pinions inside, and these are little flints. And this is a very rough piece of emery paper, I think it is. And each of these sparking ones has the same effect. As you push it forward, there's a spring that pulls it back, and away it goes. Very simple mechanism. And we go forward 20 years to New York Toy Fair, I think in the year 2000. I came across Schilling Company, who's made a lovely series of old and new toys. This is an old design. In fact, it's a little engine which will spark as well. Funny enough, they couldn't get the mechanism to work both sides, so that side is completely blank. So when you look at the engine, you look at that side, and then it will actually perform, do a bit of that. But the sparkly bit, well, I must do it a bit harder for that. Here we go. Oh yes, very good spark. Oh, it's 20 years younger than the other one, so I suspect that the flint has still got lots of life in them. But nice to see a version like that, which I'd never seen before. Then there's another genre for this, which is, well, here's the first one I got way back in the late 70s, early 80s. And I've got the original box, which is nice too. And what this did is the same rack and pinion effect here, but what it did is to make something spin round and reveal something inside. So that's supposed to be an egg. Well, it's a grey egg, but never mind, it should be yellow. When it spins, oh, a bird appears, as if by magic. Hold up like that, it looks vaguely sort of misty as if you're looking at through the spinning tin leaves. But down like that, you can see it very clearly. Very sweet. I feel it ought to chirp too, but never mind. But it's spinning nicely. I've re-oiled it, so. And when you let it slow down, suddenly the bird will disappear as the elastic bands pull it in. Bump. Like that. Incidentally, when I was repairing these, I found that there's a little green piece in the very middle of just below the bird, is elastic band, and all these had perished because they're all 40 years old. All you had to do is replace that green elastic band inside each one, and then they perform properly. So there's one that's working. Here's another one, which is, well, it's a Christmas design, obviously, for Christmas. There's a Christmas tree, and when I set it spinning, what will be inside? Well, our old friend Santa Claus. And he turns round and round, which is nice too. I like that. So it's Santa Claus inside the Christmas tree, and we'll let it slow down, and suddenly he'll disappear inside the tree. What a sweet idea. Here's another design of the same thing, but this one is a birthday cake. Look, say happy birthday to you. And where's the birthday boy? Well, he's inside it. Okay, I've got to set this thing here with a bit of help. Oops, these poor old things are getting old. Here we are. Ah, here we are. It's a kind of birthday bear, I suppose you call it. And he's wearing a little birthday party hat. And he's sitting inside the cake, and when you let it slow down, the cake forms around him and you can't see him anymore. But he's still there, but hidden inside. Yeah. This is one which I had forgotten all about. I think it did have originally something more like it's supposed to be a pumpkin, you see, something like a Cinderella inside for the fairy tale, but well, I couldn't find a Cinderella, so instead, just for a whimsical idea, I put in a fishbowl, well, a tiny toy one that's in a metal glass. What's rather nice is when you hold it up like that, it looks through the actual petals of the fruit. It looks vaguely as though the fish is turning round and round. There we are, yes it is. In fact, it's the whole bowl turning around, but it looks as though the fish is actually moving. It's very sweet. Yes, it should be a pumpkin and Cinderella, but never mind. This is getting a bit more up to date because they've added, yes, electronics, light and music, they always do that. They spoiled a bit of it, because I think the inside ought to be well, I'll tell you what it is inside, it's a bird. Very garish pink one. I do feel at the very least they should have done a chirruping bird there, or nightingale. Wouldn't it be nice to have that, yeah, with a bird chirruping? Much nicer to do. I don't mind the lights and so on, but a bird chirruping rather than electronic music would have been nicer, I think. And the last of the series is one here, which again has a little bird when you set it spinning. It's a kind of Easter egg. When it slows down, it's got the nice garish colours of a child's chocolate egg all covered in silver paper, waiting to be unwrapped. And then there's two slightly outlandish ones here, designs which are using the same mechanism, but for completely different purposes. This one's a strange one because it doesn't spin out. It spins, but it doesn't open out. It doesn't play any sparks or music. All it does is to turn round and round and round. And whether that's supposed to be Bo Peep, do you think, or Little Miss Muffet, or a Cinderella, perhaps? I don't know. Something from a childhood nursery rhyme or a fairy tale, I feel is what it should be. But it's using that same rack and pinion effect here in order to make it rotate round and round. And the last one, again, is, again, an original idea because it's using the same mechanism, this one here, and that's spinning like nice and fast, but it's to launch a spinning top. How interesting. So let's go. Either you can put it on the table and don't let it bounce, but I'll show you the bouncing effect, which is more fun, really. Really. What it's supposed to do, it's got a string, it's supposed to go bomb, 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 bomb. So let's see if we can do that. Put my glass on for this, because it's a technical thing. It's using that same mechanism, but for a completely different purpose. Here we go. Wow, that was fun, wasn't it? So what else can you do with this mechanism? Sparkles and egg opening ups and launching spinning tops. I feel there's more to come yet. It's an older mechanism, been going for 100 years or more, but it's an interesting one. And for children, lovely surprise too.